Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be covering the arteries in the thoracic area. So let's just go ahead and dive in. If you want to look at this picture in your textbook, this is going to be on page 105. Sorry, 105. But the first number on here, if you're following along in your textbook, this is going to be the plane between your superior and inferior mediastinum, or those spaces in the cavity. So I drew a big line through here. So you've got superior and inferior right there. Number two, that's going to be your ascending aorta. That's going to be coming right out of the heart. Um, Typically, we have two holes right in here in the ascending aorta. And that's where your coronary arteries are going to come out of. Number three, that's going to be your aortic arch. Coming out of that aortic arch, we've got a couple of things, right? For arteries, you should know that on the right side you have a brachiocephalic artery. Um, that's very important for you to know because we do not have a number 5 on the left side. So coming out of that brachiocephalic on the right side, we have number 9, and that's going to be your internal thoracic artery. And on the left, it's coming out of your subclavian. And then we have coming out of the brachiocephalic, we've covered this one before, number 6, your common carotid artery. And then that bifurcation of that brachiocephalic is that common carotid, and then you have the subclavian, which is number 7. And we have a subclavian on the left side that just comes right out of the aorta. What's important for you to remember is you have this vertebral artery coming out of number 7. Which is supposed to be number 8 right there. But then we also have uh, our lymph system is draining into the subclavian, if you remember that from a previous video. So let's come back out a little bit. So we have the trachea in purple right here, and then we have that esophagus sitting right behind it. So, which means that when we look at number 4, which is our descending aorta, right, we have these branches coming off around the trachea. That's going to be number 11, so that's going to be your bronchial arteries. Whereas as we come down and look at the descending aorta a little bit further down, we start to see these arteries coming in around the esophagus, which is number 12, which is your esophageal arteries. Looking at the ribs right here, so number 13, this is going to be bilateral, so it's going to be on both sides. So all these arteries in blue along here, these are going to be your posterior intercostal arteries. Whereas number 14, coming down to those floating ribs, we've got our subcostal arteries. I think it's interesting. Number 15 is going to be right here where your trachea is, where it makes that bifurcation. You have that carina right in the middle separating it. A couple of things that I had to put in here is to make sure to put number 10, which is going to be your ligamentum arteriosum. I forgot to put this in here, but just so you can see it, ligamentum arteriosum will sit right in here, and this is connecting your aortic arch into your pulmonary trunk. This is when you were a fetus in the womb, you are getting that blood supply from mom, and so the oxygenated blood was just bypassing the heart and being distributed. So this was ductus arteriosus, but number 10 is known as ligamentum arteriosum. And then I had to put in as well down here at the bottom, I made 16 and 17. I just didn't label them here. So I have the diaphragm, and then we have the superior pharynx in here. Yes, the diaphragm is a little low. I know that. But for this purpose, you need to understand just that the diaphragm does have this right here, and it has a hiatus where the aorta comes through, and above it we have the superior pharynx. Okay, and I think even in the video of the heart, I showed you these things as well. Um, but that's it for this video. That's again the arteries in the thoracic area that we need to know for this course. So we'll see you in the next video. If you thought the video was helpful, just please like it for me, and we'll see you later.
All right, I just want to give credit where credit is due. These are the books and the resources I used for the videos. So first we have Essentials of Human Anatomy by Dr. Kurt Walker. We then have Essential Clinical Anatomy by Keith L. Moore and M.R. Auger and Arthur F. Daly. I also used Structure and Function of the Human Body by Mark Nilsson and Jamie Garbett. The last book I have is The Concise Book of Trigger Points by Simon Neil Asher. And then I used the app called Complete Anatomy. As you've seen from the videos, it's amazing. If you can afford it, I suggest it. It's such a useful tool when learning this stuff. So that's it. Have a good day.